Yo, what up? DCA to BTC. Hard Huddle in the house. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Let's get the show started on the new time slot. Chee. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. We've moved our show to noon. Wow, what's going on back there? There we go. Hard Huddle in the house. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Hard Huddle. All right, what's going on with Bitcoin, guys? The new Bitcoin target is locked in. All right, and today we're gonna talk about it. In addition to that, we're gonna run a regularly scheduled program where we talk about Bitcoin a little bit. Check out the Bitcoin price. Check out the savings we've done so far on Bitcoin, our Bitcoin stack. I show you the whole details of every single buy we've made on the show so far, and then of course we stack some Bitcoin at the end, and then we go through some questions if you have any questions. Okay, so the first question on your mind is probably, is now a good time to buy Bitcoin? Yes, it is. It's always a good time to buy Bitcoin. Is this finally a dip? Hard Huddle? Would you consider this a dip? It's a 9% move down. It's from the new all-time high. Would you consider this a dip? And if you do consider this a dip, what do? A dip is a gift. Dips are gifts. So stack accordingly. All right, let's get things going with the first segment of the show. The Bitcoin strength. Today the price of Bitcoin is, oh my God, it's $112,942. Sorry, 942 cents. $100.42. You can buy 885 Satoshis for a single dollar today. You can also buy 8.86 Satoshis for a single penny, almost 9 Satoshis for a penny. It's pretty crazy. I do like seeing 885 Satoshis for a dollar, because it means that we're gonna get slipped. Maybe we'll get 17,000 Satoshis for $20. I'm not sure about that yet, but it's good. Satwise Jackson in the house. What up, Satwise? Round of applause from a live studio audience for Satwise. Orange Pill cry. Why are you crying? I went and figured out how to log back into my account on Nostr, Satwise. So I'm back on there. Just when I needed to sell some Bitcoin to pay property tax, it drops like a rock. Oh, I know, that sucks. That does suck. And as soon as you sell some and pay property tax, it's gonna go up. You know, it's like the next day, probably. It's like the worst. It's the worst. I know. Dang. All right, well, that is the Bitcoin strength. That's what's up. And let's go back to normal view. Okay, so yeah, the new Bitcoin price target doesn't matter, guys. It's always gonna go up. Like these dips, I know it sucks. If you gotta do specific things that's time bound, where like, yeah, you have to pay your taxes. That sucks, right? There's never a good time to sell when it's not a good time to sell when it's dipping. We're always gonna find a better time to sell, I guess, right? If you need to sell, especially if you're saving in Bitcoin and you're not holding any fiat, right? Which is what I do, which is what I recommend. You know, it's not financial advice, but like for the most part, if you're holding your stack in Bitcoin, you'll be doing better over time anyway. Even on this dip, you're still ahead, right? Like our chart is what? Yeah, even with this dip down to 113, whatever it's at right now, 112. Yeah, 113, just got back over 113. So 113. Our stack that's only 2 years old is still above 100%. It's at 101% right now, right? So yeah, it sucks not to have sold it at like whatever 120. What was that? At the new all-time high of 124,000, right? But if you scale out, if you zoom out, right, you're still doing pretty good. We closed the last CME gap at 91,000. Yep. If it drops that far, people will say that bull market is over, but actually it will send Bitcoin well over 300K when the money printer starts. Yeah, that's true. I don't believe that the bull market is over yet. I think this is just a little correction, a little dip, right? And nothing has changed still. Nothing has changed as far as nothing has changed so far that would change the long-term perspective on Bitcoin for me, right? If anything, it got better, right? Like there's new regulations that are more pro Bitcoin, right? There's more people buying Bitcoin. There's more institutions buying Bitcoin, right? And honestly, I think with that level of buying, I'm not sure that the bear markets are going to be as deep as before. Like they're not going to go as low as like 80% down or something like that, right? Maybe 60% down, but to see like a bear market of like 80%, I don't think so. It just doesn't make sense. We close this, yeah. Closing CME gap means a longer and higher bull run. Always has been at least. Yep. So is there a CME? Where is the new CME gap? Is there a new CME gap? Right? Because I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think about it. I guess I can say I don't think. That's a full statement. I don't think. I just buy Bitcoin, take custody, and repeat. And so far, it's been working out. Yeah, when we hit our first bear market here on the show, because we've only been doing it for about 2 years. When we hit our first bear market here on the show, yeah, we're gonna see the dip, and maybe our stack will go down in value in terms of dollars. But in terms of Bitcoin, we're still gonna have the same amount of Bitcoin. So who cares? We're still gonna have the same amount of Bitcoin, and on top of that, we're gonna get more satoshis per dollar. So we're gonna continue to stack. Like the game plan stays the same. I know it gets boring, right? But it works. It works. Closing a CME. Okay. So there's a CME gap right now at 91,000. How far would we have to go down to get to 91,000? Let me see. Where are we at right here? Looking at the daily. From where we're at today to get to 91,800. It would be like a 20% move, like a 19% down from here. What would that do for us? 91,800. Yeah, I see it. If we get all the way down there, there's a whole candle there that needs to be cleared out. That goes all the way down to like 87,500. I think if we get to 91,800, it might go all the way to 87 or 80. Yeah, 87.50, 87,500 before it goes back up, because they're so close to that. Why not take that vector candle right there? Placing by orders at the CME gap point is the best way to dip for a dip. That's true. Catch a nice little stop. Yeah, catch a nice little surge down to collect all of the stop runs. And then your order gets filled down there. Dang, like on a crazy micro dip where it goes comes back up, that giant wick down to like, was it 91,000? get filled and instantly you're in profits. That's cool. That's a good one. That's a good one. Do you guys do like options trading, sat-wise or hard hodl? Have you guys ever messed around with options? Like, let me know. All right, so let's we did the Bitcoin strength, right? Let's do the why we stack. And I'm gonna do the why we stack pretty simple, guys, pretty quick, because I don't see anybody in here that's like new, so I'm not gonna skip it, but let's just make it fast. Okay, here we go. Why we stack? Why do we save in Bitcoin? Because saving in Bitcoin gives us the ability to play the nope card on inflation, the reverse card on the effects of inflation on your savings, and instead of inflation eating away at the value of your hard-earned work, it pushes the value, it increases the purchasing power of your savings because your savings are not in the inflationary system, and just by virtue of the dollar losing purchasing power, you need more and more of those weaker dollars to buy the same amount of Bitcoin that you already have in your savings. So then your savings are worth more and more in terms of dollars because the dollar is losing purchasing power against Bitcoin, and when you hold a better asset, you gain against the weaker asset. Okay, so that's what we save in Bitcoin. It's pretty simple, right? If you like to think about it a different way, we save in Bitcoin because saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, why we stack. What up, Philly? Philly Gearhead in the house. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Philly Gearhead. What's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in to the show. We used to do this show at the 2 o'clock hour. Now we're doing it at the 12 o'clock hour. So welcome. Hope you're having a good day. What is this show about? It's plain and simple. Okay, plain and simple. We stack Bitcoin every day of the week, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. We buy a little bit of Bitcoin, buy $20 worth. Okay. Originally, the goal was to get to 1 Bitcoin by stacking $5 a day, but that's impossible. Even $20 a day is impossible to get to 1 Bitcoin at this point. But we're continuing the journey. We are currently at 0.4 Bitcoin, I think, and we're doing other things now on the side, including trying to get this channel monetized so that we can get to 1 Bitcoin and show the whole journey from 0 Satoshis to 100 million Satoshis right here live on YouTube, day by day, little by little, showing that it's not a luck thing. It's a commitment to DCA, to BTC. It's the commitment to showing up every day of the week, pulling out the phone, getting on strike, and doing a buy. And regardless of the price of Bitcoin, we understand that the price of Bitcoin is not what's important. It's that your Satoshi stack continues to grow. As long as your Bitcoin number goes up, your actual Bitcoin in your own wallet goes up, you're doing better than you were before. I've been 1.25 hours for a very long time. Oh, okay. Oh, that's awesome. Saving 1.25 per hour that's rad. That's so cool. Okay, that's $30 a day. Okay, good. Unfortunately, I don't set mine for the show on automatic because I have to do the actual manual buy during the show. So I'm not reaping the benefits of no fees, which is awesome for you that you're doing that every hour. Yeah, but I do it for the show so people can see it, you know. And maybe if somebody's new thinking about saving in Bitcoin, they see what we've been doing here and they get motivated to start, right? All right, so that is why we stack. And now let's get into, of course, one of the best parts of the show, one of my favorite parts of the show. Not for showing off purposes, but for demonstration purposes. These are all real numbers. These are all we've been doing for the past over 2 years. Here we go. It's time for the stack recap because we don't only talk about stacking Bitcoin here Monday through Friday, 12 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern. 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. We do it every weekday, and this is our proof of work that we've been stacking Bitcoin since May 22nd, 2023. In 2025, so far this year, we've saved $4,900 in our daily DCA here on the show. That has gotten us 0.5115534 Bitcoin, and that's currently worth $5,802. In other words, it would take us 18.41% more of today's weaker money to buy the same amount of Bitcoin. It's showing you that in the past year, so far in 8 months, in 19 days, the dollar has lost 18.41% of its purchasing power against Bitcoin. Okay, so why save in dollars, guys? Right? You would have lost already you've been able to afford 18.41% less things. Well, actually, no. You would be able to afford 18.41% more things if you're in Bitcoin. Okay. In 2024, we tracked that year separately as well, and we saved $7,345. That stack today is worth $13,885 for an 89% gain so far, because we haven't sold this stack, but we're not going to sell this stack. The mission here is to keep it for at least 4 years, and of course, we'll probably keep it longer. But yeah, that's the minimum. Each buy, as you can see, is tracked individually. Each buy correlates to a show on this episode. An episode on this show. And of course, we started buying Bitcoin here on the show before 2024, and this is where we track the whole lifespan of the show, the whole strategic Bitcoin reserve of the Stack Bitcoin show. We started back in May 22nd, 2023. Bitcoin Pizza Day. We started with $5. We bought 18,000 Satoshis for those $5, and those Satoshis are currently worth $20. Crazy, right? All right, so far, via all of the buys we've done here on the show during our live streams, we've accumulated 0.28087377 Bitcoin, and we paid $15,729 for that, and today that's worth $31,858, so for a 102% gain so far. And again, we're not planning on selling, so these gains will continue to increase the longer you hold Bitcoin, right? So it's pretty good. We've also done other things on the side to generate extra revenue for the show, and we're accounting for that here. And that brings our total for the stack of the show for strategic Bitcoin reserve goes to 0.4177498 BTC. And as long as the Bitcoin number continues to go up, who cares what the dollar number says? Okay. Eventually, this dollar number is going to go up forever, and won't be using the dollar anymore, because even $1 million won't be able to buy you a Big Mac or a burrito, whatever. Okay. So that is the Bitcoin stack. That's the stack. That's the stack recap. Okay. Pretty good so far. Let's jump into, so in 2025, the rules that we have for stacking, in case you're new to the show, are as follows. When the price of Bitcoin is below our average buy price for that year, so in this case 2025, we buy $40 worth of Bitcoin. When the Bitcoin price is the lowest we've seen for that year, in this case, lowest we've seen this year is $76,914 Bitcoin, that we've seen during the broadcast of the show. When that happens, if we see a Bitcoin lower than that, sell your stuff and buy as much Bitcoin as you can. But on top of that, we'll buy an $80 stack. Today, since the price of Bitcoin is above our average buy price for 2025, we're only going to buy $20 worth of Bitcoin, even though you should probably buy more if you have it. Okay? Just saying. So, that said, now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, there's only one thing left to do. It's time to stack some Bitcoin. All right. Hope you guys are having a good lunch today. If you're on the West Coast, enjoying your lunch hour, let me know what you're having for lunch. Give me some ideas, because I haven't had lunch yet. I'm opening up the Strike app. Bam! Strike. I'm hitting the buy button. I'm typing in $20. Hit next. Okay, it's queued up. The buy is queued up. Cut the music. Start the drum roll, please. Here we go. Buying $20 worth of Bitcoin right now on the Stack Bitcoin show. Hit confirm. Rolling through. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Just like that. It is that easy. It's that easy. I can run a show. Sam might keep you guys entertained. Be my own DJ, right? And stack Bitcoin, right? So with that stack, we've stacked an additional, 17,450 Satoshis will be added to the stack, both in the 2025 tracking sheet and in the cumulative tracking sheet that we like to call our strategic Bitcoin reserve. Today is 8/19/25, and the price of Bitcoin we deserve today is a beautiful $113,581.66 Bitcoin. We bought $20 worth, and that $20 worth of Bitcoin got us 0.0001745 BTC. Let me adjust the number here a little bit. 17,450 Satoshis. Dang, son. Let's go. It feels good to be in the 17,000s. Every time I buy Bitcoin and see the 16,000, it makes me a little bit sad. Look at this one. 16,113 Satoshis. Anyway. All right. So let's copy this data over here. This is our weighted average. It takes into consideration how much Bitcoin we bought, and it gives us a more accurate cost basis, our average cost basis. This is more blunt. This is more refined based on how many Satoshis we bought. 94,912. Okay, we're jumping over here to the main sheet, adding this to the tracker that tracks all the buys we've ever done on the show. Look at that. So crazy. 589 buys done on the show so far. We are on episode 474 of the show. It's crazy. That's a lot of buys. And yeah, there's some red down here, of course. Look at that. How much is that? How many reds is that? How many red sections is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30. 30 buys out of 589 buys are in the green. All right, sorry, in the red. Right? Hey, Philly Gearhead, thanks for tuning in. I'm so stoked that you like the show. Yeah. If you could subscribe and do the like stuff, it'd be amazing. Okay. We try to keep the show strictly Bitcoin, strictly buy, take custody of your own coin, and repeat. That's all we do. And then we also do different things to gamify learning about Bitcoin and taking more control of the way you spend money. So that it makes it easier to stack, right? So check it out. We got our handy dandy 100-day Bitcoin savings challenge. It's almost been completed. I buy Bitcoin. It's inspired by the TikTok challenge of the 100 envelopes challenge, where they stuff envelopes full of cash, right? They have a binder with envelopes numbered 1 through 100, and every day for 100 days, they have to fill in one envelope per day. They can't skip days, right? And they can't fill multiple envelopes in one day. Well, I took that concept and we invented the 100-day Bitcoin savings challenge. Dun, dun, dun. And basically, we do the same thing, but we do it with Bitcoin because it's better, right? Because if you're stuffing cash in envelopes, you're falling victim to inflation and you're getting rugged as we speak. So in this case, even though that Bitcoin has come down so far, we're still plus 52% on our 100-day Bitcoin savings challenge. I need to buy for today. Actually, I need to buy for today. And I need to put in the buy that I did yesterday for today. It's 18 and 19. So I need to add the data here. I need to buy today too. Okay, so I have 2 more buys in. We are basically 14 days away from completing our second ever 100-day Bitcoin savings challenge. It's pretty good. Okay, so this number here of the Bitcoin that we have for this purchase gets added automatically to our tracker here. Okay, this is tracking that sheet and another sheet we did from before. Oh, that's right. We need to check strike for any surprises, of course. That's so. Oh, I see it. I see a little. Oh, let's go. Boom. Oh, wait. That's awesome. Nice. Oh, okay. I see. And of course, one of the line items here on our sheet is the donations line item. And of course, we received another donation today. Another 2 donations that we will track today at these low prices. Today is 8/19/25, and the Bitcoin price is at about, what is this? 113,396.56 or something like that. Okay, we received 0.1234567 and 0.1234567. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we'll put this here. Boom. Nice. I don't even know how much that is. Oh, it is. It tells us right there how much it is. Let's put that in there. 0.02 and 0.01. Hey, a donation is a donation, and it's gonna help us get to the goal of 1 whole BTC. So pretty good. There it is. We're just gonna put the same price. We're just gonna put the price of Bitcoin when we received it. Okay. And we're also tracking those donations, how the donations are doing, right? Now, when you donate to the show, you don't only get to help become part of the journey that gets us to 1 whole Bitcoin, but you also become immortalized and you get to live on the Stack Bitcoin Show donation spreadsheet, right? Like when we got this 1,000 sats sent to us by Carlos Aramillo from the Amazon jungle. DCA to BTC was a stack, and this is Stack the Facts, right? Satwise had some donations in here, and yeah, you know, the donations coming in, and we do our best. Don't forget. What's that, lightning? Hey, we're so close to getting to 500 subscribers, guys. If we get to 500 subscribers, we'll be able to unlock the ability to create our own emotes, right? I already have them drawn up. I've drew them already. So anyway, we'll get those going. Hopefully this new time slot will help us get new audience. Let's keep it rolling. Okay. On top of that, we also do something called the Let's 100 Bitcoin Saving Challenge. Reclaim Bitcoin. Okay. We get rid of stuff that we don't need. We stack Bitcoin. We sell the things that we don't need that are on our house. We liberate. We reclaim the Bitcoin that's stuck in the things that are on our house, and we sell it immediately for Bitcoin and convert it to Satoshis, right? And see, here are some examples of some of those things we've sold. I sold my kayak. I sold my kayak a couple months ago for $700 when Bitcoin was at 104,000, and I immediately bought Bitcoin. So now that kayak that used to be in my garage taking up space that I haven't used in a couple of years has now increased my wealth by $55.22. Right? So that thing that was taking up space, living rent free in my house, now isn't taking up space. It's been transformed magically into some Satoshis. 665,749 Satoshis, right? Maybe eventually one day selling that kayak when Bitcoin was at 104,000. I don't know if it'll get me a boat yet. I don't know if it'll get me a boat yet, guys. That's kind of a stretch, but who knows? You know, maybe it'll get my kids a boat, right? Maybe I turned my kayak into a boat for my kids and for my kids to have, into a boat for my grandkids. Okay, maybe. Who knows? It's just a different way of thinking about it, right? We're also doing what we call the 21 Moto Project. It's been a while since I rode the Grom around, but yeah, let's just skip this one for now. It's a lot more information. All right, cool. This is the tracker spreadsheet that we have. Okay, cool. All right, that is the nuts and bolts of the show, the bread and butter, right? And now let's jump into the Q&A section. If you guys have any questions, do put it in the comments. If you don't, no worries. We just wrap up the show. That's how it works around here. Okay. But as long as there's engagement, I'll stick around and we could talk about more Bitcoin stuff. And yeah, random stuff is allowed as well. If you guys have any questions, do put it in the comments. If you're watching this show and you're watching the replay and you're like, dang, I missed the show, I couldn't make it at 2 o'clock and I can't make it at noon either, so just leave a comment on this replay, and I will answer your question tomorrow during that live stream, or I'll just respond to it in the comments with text, right? But more likely than not, if it's a really good question that I feel other beginners might have the same question, I'll just make a whole show out of it. Okay, so I'll try to help you out that way. And again, do you ever post a link to the sheet? Yeah, you can check it out. Let's see. For the that's a good question. Okay, so do I ever post a link for the sheet? Read only. Do you want the sheet for tracking that we use, or you want to see the actual show statistics? Because you can see the show statistics too. Let's see. I can show. We used to post a link to the sheet so that you can check. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, I can. Let me get it for you. Let's see. So that you can check it out, right? I have to remember what link it is. I think we let me see. Let's see if this works. This one might take you to the one that's for sale. That is for you to track your own template, right? But we used to publish this. Let's see, that template was done. Let me see if this works. Yeah, that one should work. That one will have all the data that you just saw on the screen. Okay? That one will have all the data that you saw on the screen. Yeah, that one still works. So that one is the actual. It basically allows you to create a template of our existing data. So if you want to run numbers against it and do stats and stuff, that's perfectly fine. Like all that stuff is public anyway. I don't have anything on there that's like has like the actual wallet that stuff is in. All that stuff is completely been removed, but it's got the actual data that's been public on the show anyway, because if you watch the show, you would see it, right? But it's all in one space. You can see all of the different purchases we've done. It's pretty wild when you start looking through it. Yeah, when you start looking through it and you see like, man, it's such a, ooh, well, what happened here? It's such a good, when I was orange pilling my family and friends, I didn't have something I could point to and say, look, 100%, like I did this. This is like the concept that I'm trying to explain to you. Like this is a proof of the concept, right? And it was a little bit frustrating because they're like, yeah, well, it's theoretical until like, how do you know what the Bitcoin's going to do? Like, how do you know it's going to do that or this? I'm just like, it's just, you know, like the economics of it. Like we're printing more money, right? Money loses purchasing power. You need more of that weaker money to buy the same amount of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's obviously going to preserve your value of your savings. And it's hard for them to grasp that, right? And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do this show so that I can show people that the $5 you're spending on Starbucks every day, right? The $5 you're spending on Starbucks every day, right, could go towards something that's more significant, right? And then like, yeah, like it's all theory until you actually do it. So we just started doing it on the show live. It's like, all right, screw it. We're doing it on the show. We're doing it live and we're buying Bitcoin, right? No worries. Have a good one, Philly. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that. Very cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap this baby up. Wrap this episode up with our traditional closing track. Once again, we are at the end of another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. We've showed up, stayed consistent. We bought a little Bitcoin, $20 worth, right? On the lows, on the highs, on the crabs, we buy. Okay? The new Bitcoin target is locked in because it's always been locked in, ladies and gentlemen. The new Bitcoin target is infinity. Because as long as the printer keeps printing infinity, Bitcoin will go up to infinity. All right? It's the scarcest thing you can own. Stack accordingly. Okay? If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Bye, guys.